grew up in Scottsdale, Arizona. I had a sister and, of course, a mom and dad. My dad was a golf professional. My mom was a school teacher.
I'm the youngest of 5 boys. Grew up in Florida, in mostly blue collar.
Really, if you'd asked me when I was younger what I wanted to be when I'd grow up, I'd tell you a mom. That was definitely the most important thing to me in my life.
Dad was an extremely hard worker, impressed upon us a tremendous work ethic, responsibility. So I took the natural course through high school, work hard, college, buckled down in grades, and really started to carve out a career.
Fast forward a few years and I met the man of my dreams. I was visiting Florida and met him and never went back to Arizona. And of course that's kind of where our story begins.
Somebody gave me an opportunity to move up a step or two in the corporate ladder. So I put my application in with the United States Secret Service, and I spent about 6.5 years traveling all over this country and other countries.
At the time, I had a 3.5-year-old and a newborn little baby boy, and there was a point, and there's a day and a time that I remember very specifically, and it was one evening when he was a newborn, and we literally did not have money for baby food that night, and we had run out, and I remember having to wait till midnight for our credit card to lapse into the next month in order for us to be able to go and buy baby food for our children. So I remember that night just pouring my heart out and just kind of asking the Lord to show me an opportunity, show me a vision and something that He would have me do. And sure enough, by the next, within the next week to 2 weeks, was introduced to this opportunity. And I really wasn't looking at it as a huge opportunity. I was just simply looking at it as just enough to get by and to help in paying the bills so that I could be home with my precious children. And so that's really what I set out to accomplish. When we first started, we were, really our goal was to set out to make a few $100s extra a month. And as time progressed, as months went on, that quickly jumped and to a few $1,000s extra a month. And the trips to the mailbox suddenly started becoming a lot more exciting and a lot more fun.
I was still working at government in my office, stationed in Miami, Florida, working an exorbitant amount of hours for a rather good salary, according to most American families today.
One day I asked him, what would it take for you to come home? What would it take for you how much would I need to make?
And at that point in time, we were already doing about $500,000 to $750,000 in retail profit. So I threw out a number to her. And I said, okay, when our monthly business income reaches this much, then I will.
And I want to say that first figure was like 50 grand a month. And so I said, all right, we'll see. And so sure enough, it took me about 3 months to hit that. And at the time, I think we started, it was about 20 grand a month. And so we jumped in about 3 to 4 months, we jumped up to that 50 grand a month. And of course, so I looked at him and said, all right, it's time. And he does what I think any, red-blooded man will do. And he says, oh, no, honey, he upped the goal.
So I raised the value about 20%, and it was really futile because in another 60 days we hit that value. So I walked in, gave him my resignation, gave my 2 weeks notice, and we had a plan and we were ready to go. For me, this industry has really kind of broken that stereotype mold. It's allowed me to be successful, but also a very present and in-tune dad. There's days that, I'll finish a phone call and I'll walk 20 steps up my front yard, and my 10-year-old boy will start running post patterns, and we'll start, chucking footballs at each other, and, airsoft and paint guns. And so the day is not so linear. Success has a different view. It's almost like a mosaic or a puzzle piece.
The financial rewards, of course, have been amazing, but I think the rewards, the gifts, and really what I look at this industry and what it's been able to do for my family is really priceless. You can't even put a price tag on it.